Happy New Year. Sir, you must be mistaken, we're all here enjoying the New Year's Eve celebration. One visibly drunk waved a wine bottle in the air, exactly just a couple of lousy security guards barging in. Get out of here, the security guard remained firm, holding up the blood-stained coat. Is everyone accounted for? Do we need to involve the police? At the sight of the familiar coat, he blurted out, "That's my wife's coat. She's upset because I wasn't home with her for New Year's Eve and we've been arguing." The room buzzed with judgmental murmurs, voices dripping with scorn toward me. His wife has been acting out ever since she got pregnant, poor Max. He finally got a moment to breathe, but she couldn't leave him alone. Good thing the security guard picked up the coat. Imagine if someone clueless had called the police, it would have been such a waste of their time. She's out of line, causing a scene on New Year's Eve and even involving security. What a joke. Max, you really need to get her in line. A wife like that is nothing but trouble for the next 3 generations. Faced with the growing disdain, the security guards hesitated. These were influential people. Offending them could spell disaster. One guard leaned toward his colleague and whispered, "Does something feel off to you now?" Just a bit. Boss wife threw a tantrum and he locked her in the restroom to cool off. Nothing serious here. The first security guard was unsure, so he asked once again to take a look at the restroom to confirm everyone's safety. However, Maxime kicked the security guard hard. "What the hell are you trying to do? My wife is in the restroom, so what could possibly happen? Call your manager right now. I'm filing a formal complaint against you." The security guard could not risk offending Maxime further. Reluctantly, he set the blood-stained coat on a chair and left the private room. Soon the music resumed and the lively atmosphere outside returned as though nothing had happened. My vision blurred and the world around me faded to black. When I regained consciousness, I found myself lying on a hospital bed. A dull pain throbbed in my abdomen and instinctively I reached out to comfort the child in my belly. However, my movements felt stiff and unnatural and my once rounded stomach was now flat. Panic surged through me as I rang the call bell, summoning a nurse. She arrived quickly, her expression a mix of pity and hesitation. "You went into premature labor due to external trauma. Your condition was critical and unfortunately you weren't brought to the hospital in time. The baby was deprived of oxygen for too long and had no heartbeat when you arrived. We managed to save your life by performing an emergency procedure to remove the stillborn fetus, but your body sustained serious damage. If you don't take care of yourself properly, it may be difficult for you to conceive again in the future." After Maxime and the others left the club, the cleaning staff found me unconscious and bleeding in the restroom. They had called emergency services and rushed me to the hospital. Maxime, my husband, had left the club without a second thought. He took Lily to another place to continue their night. The nurse asked about my condition as usual and then asked, "Your phone was damaged and we couldn't reach your family. Do you have your husband's number? You'll ask him to come over and take care of you. You shouldn't be alone in this condition. You need someone to take care of you." Sigh, his wife and child nearly died and he's nowhere to be found. Despite everything, I gave her Maxime's number, but there was no answer. I asked the nurse to contact Maxime's another number and this time, after waiting for a long time, the call finally connected. "Hello, are you Miss Sophie Marlowe's family member? She's in the hospital." And before the nurse could finish, Lily's gasping sound came from the phone. "Max, this is your wife's new number. Sophie, are you done yet? Can you give me some freedom?" During the new year, the call was cut off without hesitation. Fuming, the nurse tried to call back, but the number had already been blocked. What the hell, this scumbag? Sensing my distress, she chose not to say more. Instead, she encouraged me gently, "Your health is the most important thing right now. If you need anything, just ring the bell and we'll be here for you." Even a stranger who barely knew me showed more concern for my well-being than the man I had spent years of my life with. The thought sent a sharp ache through my chest. The cost of seeing someone's true colors could be unbearably steep. I asked before the nurse left. Before the nurse left, I mustered the courage to ask my baby, was it a boy or a girl? The nurse sighed, sadness clouding her expression. "She was a beautiful little girl." My tears began to fall uncontrollably, soaking into the pillow beneath my head. "I'm so sorry, Mommy couldn't protect you, my little princess." I hired a caregiver to help look after me and bought a new phone. As soon as I powered it on, I typed a single message to Maxime. It did not take long for his call to come through. His voice was sharp, laced with barely contained anger. "Sophie, a woman who's too dramatic isn't charming at all. Are you treating our marriage like a joke? Our child is gone. My daughter is dead because of you, Maxime. You don't deserve to be her father." His tone quickly shifted to one of impatience. "That's enough, Sophie. Stop using the baby to guilt-trip me. Aren't you just upset that I didn't spend New Year's Eve with you? Fine, you'll come home now and stay with you for the next few days." Before I could reply, I heard Lily's voice in the background, sniffling pitifully. "Max, I'm sorry, I didn't think your wife would be so upset." Maxime brushed me off with his usual indifference. "Wait for me at home." Hang up before I hung up the phone. I faintly heard the sound of plastic wrapping being torn open. I could not hold back my revulsion, so disgusting. The doctor informed me that I was not fit to be discharged yet, and I felt relieved to stay in the hospital where I could focus on recovering. I did not receive a single message or call from Maxime until the next day. I sneered bitterly to myself, imagining he must be tangled up in his tender haven, too preoccupied to remember me. Noticing my mood, Sadie one off. The nurses tried to lighten the atmosphere as she brought my food while sharing juicy hospital gossip. "Oh, Miss Marlowe, you wouldn't believe what I just saw. These young folks these days, they take fun to a whole new level. I just passed by the emergency room and saw a pair of shameless lovebirds. Can you imagine? They were so exposed, barely any clothes left on them. My cousin's nephew works in the emergency room. He said those two were so wild they ended up stuck together like conjoined twins." As she continued putting the food on the table while recounting the story, she grabbed a magazine lying on the table, flipping it open and pointing to a photo. "See this guy? They say he's the boss and the woman with him is his secretary. He looks decent enough, but who would have thought he'd be into that sort of thing?" I glanced down at the page. Wasn't that Maxime Remington? Keeping my composure, I picked up my phone and called the private investigator I had hired to gather evidence of his infidelity. Don't worry, Miss Marlowe, will on it, you'll get the proof you're looking for. Worth every penny. Sadie had been watching with a knowing glint in her eyes. Miss Marlowe, is that cheater your husband? She rubbed her palms together as her grin widened. Oh, you see, I can't stand cheaters like him. If it were me, I'd make sure he gets exactly what he deserves. Intrigued, I raised an eyebrow, silently urging her to go on. You see, I dabble in making short videos to capture everyday life. Turns out I filmed that shameless pair from the moment they got out of the ambulance until they were wheeled into the ER. I was filming from the second floor, so nobody noticed me. The video is crystal clear, high definition, faces visible, and not a single blur or sensor.